Hey, welcome back to Unfailing Purpose. On today's episode, I wanted to share with you my story and my journey for realizing I needed to have a holistic approach for my mental health. I came to the realization in July of 2019 that I was struggling with anxiety and depression. Previously to that, I had went into a doctor's office and thought I was having a heart attack at 34 years old. I had a sweet nurse. She was a believer. She knew that I wasn't really keen on the thought of going on depression or anxiety medication, so she just left me alone. And I think she probably prayed for me because she knew that it was very real in my life, but she also knew that I wasn't really willing to come to terms with it. So it wasn't until I had been sitting underneath my husband's preaching one day when I realized that this was part of God's plan for my life, but this wasn't necessarily like the whole purpose. Like, was that I was going to live with depression and anxiety my whole entire life, and this was just the end all be all of it. It was for a season of my life and for a purpose. Now, I'm not saying that I'm never going to deal with anxiety and depression again in my life. Quite the contrary. I'm not the author and finisher of my faith. I know that God has a purpose for everything that He allows in my life. And so I'm going to say that if God so chooses that I continue to deal with that, then that is something that He will bring me through. And it will be for a great purpose, like this channel. Being able to help people see that there is hope and that there is a way to holistically approach anxiety and depression. And that's why I want to share my story with you today. So, in today's episode of this, I am going to share that I came to the realization that I had depression. When my husband was preaching, I cried out to God and I said, "You're the great physician and you are able to heal me." The Bible says, "Try me." And so I really just put up that petition like, "Lord, you're the great physician and I trust you with it. So you're going to point me in the right direction of where I need to go for healing." My God knows me. He knows me intricately. He knew that I was going to be stubborn. He knew that I wasn't going to go the route of doctors. He knew that I was going to need the right people in my life. And He already ordained them ahead of time to be in my path and me to cross paths with them. So I had prayed about it. The very next day, I went to the health store here in the town that I live in. And the lady that owned the place started to talk to me about some supplements. She started talking to me about actual body parts within my body that could be dealing with anxiety and depression. And so I started really plugging into her and understanding my endocrine system within my body and how important it is to the function of mental health and our hormone levels and just all of those things. And so I started plugging into her and realizing that I could go the route of using supplements. I'm not here to sell you a single thing. I'm just here sharing my story of what works with me, what worked with me. I am not a doctor. In fact, I don't think most doctors would tell you to go this route because the pharmaceutical company is like, yeah, the almighty dollar. So I started taking supplements. The supplements started working after 2 months. I started to have the energy level that I needed. I started to feel good. I started to be able to collect my thoughts. I feel like a cloud had been lifted. I was able to kind of put a to-do list together and actually check some things off. So I'm feeling better, right? What do you do when you start feeling better? You stop taking the supplements. You stop doing the things. You just think, I got this. I'm taking the training wheels off and here I go. Well, it was quite the contrary. I took the training wheels off and my bike was like, bink, it was like I had steered off course. So I went out back to the supplement store and everything. And I talked to this lady and I said, I just want to be normal again. And I started to cry and she said, "What is normal?" And I said, "I don't know, not having to take all these pills every day." And she said, "Honey, your body needs support. You're getting older. You've went through a lot of things and your body needs support. It's not that you're not normal. It's that your body needs things that you're not able to give it right now." And so I started to see it not so much as a burden, but like, okay, I'm going to support my body. I'm going to take these supplements and I'm going to support my body. And I started to do that. And here I am 2 years later. And I'm finally in a position where I can help others. If you would have told me 2 years ago that I would have been in a position to start a YouTube channel, collect my thoughts, and be able to help and encourage other people, I would have told you you're lying, and there's absolutely no way. But I know that God had a purpose in it all. And that was one thing that I continued to pray through. God, you have a purpose in this, you have a plan, and I'm going to trust you. And so that's what I started to do. And through this journey, I've seen that He has a bigger purpose and He has a bigger plan. I've been able to help people one-on-one with some of this, but God really has burdened my heart to start a channel and to put it out there, so that I could help others in a bigger way. This isn't about me. This is about helping others, helping other moms, helping other people who deal with anxiety, depression, and helping people in the way that they live and orchestrate their lives, in such a way that it helps them to just be better in all avenues. So I hope that this was an encouragement to you today to see that there is hope and that God has an unfailing purpose and promise over each one of our lives, and that we just need to keep trusting Him and know that He has a purpose in it all. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you find this as a blessing. Keep watching continued content. Like, share, subscribe, share this with people that you know who are struggling in your life. And that way others can see that there's no shame in this, and that there is hope. That's my hope, is that this will just share to the audience that God intends it to, and that it will be a blessing to others. So continue to check on the next videos, as I'm going to get into more detail of what I did to help my anxiety and depression through supplements, and a lot more will unfold in the continued episodes. So have a blessed day. And again, don't forget that God has an unfailing purpose and promise over each one of your lives. Have an amazing day.